And here we go. Jaron Boots Ennis gets accused of this. Boxer turned commentator Algeri weighs in on the upcoming fight with Jaron Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas. And he pretty much has a warning for Jaron Boots Ennis that ultimately fighting Xander Zayas, if you go into it with this attitude, the wrong attitude, you could very well lose the fight. So in this video, I'm going to break down what he said and, of course, give you my take and my opinion. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, a fight I am looking forward to, right? And after the fight actually got made and they did a press conference, I actually started to like it even more. Like, I already liked the fight, but seeing them face to face, seeing that Xander Zayas was about Boots' size, maybe even a little bigger, knowing he could box, young, hungry, pretty strong, it made me want to see the fight. And surprisingly, you have people who are kind of conflicted, right? Now, Algeri did a brand new interview saying that Boots is pretty much being too cocky, and if he chooses to fight Xander in a certain way, he could very well lose. Let's take a listen, shall we?
He can win. That's the craziest thing. I'm talking to people, and they're like, I think Boots is too confident. I think Boots thinks he's going to walk over this kid. I'm like, stylistically, it's a really tough fight for Boots. I've never seen Boots really close the distance on a guy who can move and is going to punch. Because if he sits there and fights the way that he did against Karen Chukatsian in the first fight, he loses. If he fights him the same way he did in the Karen Chukatsian second fight, he loses. You can't just walk in the front door. You've got to show me things you haven't shown. I've heard you can do it in the gym. I've heard all that. That's all great. You got to do it on fight night. You got to do it under those lights. Because if you don't, Xander Zayas is going to box his shoes off and he's going to win that fight. He can win. That's the craziest thing.
Boom. You never know. So Algeri saying that Boots is overconfident, like going into it too cocky, and he could get outboxed here and he can lose. Now, here's the thing. This is my personal opinion. I feel like boxing commentary is really, really watered down right now because you have people kind of like this take from Algeri, right? Where people kind of bring in biases and preconceived notions, and some people even seem like they're playing devil's advocate, right? So they'll just be contrarian, like the popular pick, the majority pick will be a certain guy, and then somebody will just make an argument for the other guy. And it kind of feels like that here. For one, I don't personally believe you could be too confident. Don't really believe in that at all. Now, there's a caveat with what I'm about to say. I don't think you could be too confident so much as if you're quote unquote too confident without the proper preparation. So more so unprepared. Like you're going into the situation way too cocky, way too arrogant, and you didn't prepare right. So that is a big difference as opposed to what I've seen from Jaron Ennis. I haven't seen like, oh, he's in unfamiliar territory and he's just disrespecting. He's doing his regular bit. He don't believe any guy at 54 can beat him. But we don't know Boots to come to a fight unprepared, right? Never really seen that. In fact, I was liking the weight he was at way early in camp or right with the announcement. Like, I look at these things. I've seen Boots in his offseason, like pictures and videos and stuff, where he looked kind of big. He looked in good shape. Face was toned and slim, pause. But, he looked like he's in a good starting point to begin this camp. So I don't really believe in this whole Algeri, he's too confident stuff. I think he's confident, yes, but I don't think he'll be unprepared. He knows what he's up against. It's a title shot, right? He has a chance at more than one title here. So I don't believe that Boots is going to go into this fight blind and just like arrogant, like, oh, I'm going to cook this dude. I think he's going to put the work in. And this is what I'm talking about with the commentary. Who is Xander Zayas really beat? Yeah, I don't care if he's a champion. A lot of guys are a champion. I'm like Roger Mayweather. I'm from that cloth. Rest in peace to my boy Roger Mayweather. Who he beat? Well, ain't beat nobody. Okay, then. Like, who did Xander Zayas beat? You know what I mean? So it's all fine and dandy to say, oh, if he fights like Karen Chukadzian, he'll lose in the first fight.
I'm talking to people, and they're like, I think Boots is too confident. I think Boots thinks he's going to walk over this kid. I'm like, stylistically, it's a really tough fight for Boots. I've never seen Boots really close the distance on a guy who can move and is going to punch. Because if he sits there and fights the way that he did against Karen Chukadzian in the first fight, he loses. If he fights in the same way he did in the Karen Chukadzian second fight, he loses.
I don't understand that at all. Because Xander Zayas ain't Karen Chukadzian. This what I don't understand about boxing commentary, where you got people who will come up with these things and it makes great headlines and, oh man, Boots is in trouble and stuff like that. But why are we comparing Xander Zayas to Chukadzian? I don't get it. I've watched both guys and done my research. They don't fight nothing alike, right? So what is the comparison? And when people make these kind of statements, right, where they're like, oh man, if he fights this way, you also negate the fact that people go through certain things to come out the other side. Like, these fighters are trying to get better, right? So going through the Karen Chukadzian fight, sparring with Canelo, when he was preparing for Bud, all of this just makes Boots a better fighter. You know what I mean? He fought Chukadzian in 2024, right? He fought him in 2024, and then he fought him the first time in 2023. We're in 2026. So it's like he did it, he got past it, and let's say he underestimated Chukadzian because he beat him pretty easy in the first fight. Right? So how would you can't really hold him to that and like slight him for that. How would he know that Karen Chukadzian was so tough? He almost stopped Chukadzian in the first fight and he beat him every single round. Chukadzian, credit to him, he had a great game plan. You know what I mean? So I don't really understand what Xander Zayas has to do with Chukadzian, because part of what made Chukadzian is he got a second crack, a mulligan. He had a second attempt. A lot of the fighters from Ukraine, where he's from, are tough. Usyk's tough, the Klitschko brothers, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of tough Ukrainian fighters. So I don't really see the comparison to Chukadzian in any way, shape, form, or fashion at all. And I think Boots went through that and got better, because after that fight, he became a unified champion. So this is no disrespect to Xander Zayas. Yeah, he has a chance. He's a good fighter, but I hope people keep the same energy, because I'm seeing a lot of people picking Xander Zayas. I'm picking Boots. I told y'all that from day one. This is not a hard fight for me to predict. Could be a good fight. I think it'll be a competitive fight, but I don't see Xander Zayas beating him, and I think Boots has every right to be confident. So I don't know what you guys are seeing. Let me know in the comment section. I'm rocking with Boots all the way here. I don't see him losing this particular fight, and I don't think he's being arrogant to the point of he's not a novice where he's just going to come in. So I don't know what y'all talking